Alright? But you look at verse 28, it's highlighted right there. Verse 28, and wa sharat, or wa sharat. Alright? So it reads, and no ruin or destroy the sides or the corners of your beards, and cut to the dead. No, you shall not make in your flesh imprints or marks of writing. Okay? So that shows you, it's nothing that we got to try to make fit, or we got to try to, no, it's nothing like that. It just is what it is. You guys just don't want to see it. And that's fine if you don't, but don't come on here slandering people. Alright, just accept the truth for what it is, or don't say nothing at all. Moving on. Now, you thought that we forgot to put, you thought we didn't put.
Alright, Shalom. This is a hard one by Yasha Allah of the GMS Lions Den Camp. I want to say Kal Halayim La Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai by Hashem Harakah Kodash Ma'amah. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders, and Shalom to you Akim and Akwatim and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. Hey man, I want to break this up into different segments. I'm not gonna make it all long and drawn out, but look at this as an opener, right, to the beginning of this conversation. Now, you got the brother Karazazar down in Orlando. We're up here in Jacksonville. Now, he said in the video that nobody should respond because nobody ever met him and things like that. If they haven't met him or spoken to him, well, I met him and I spoke to him. I used to teach with him, so I feel like I am definitely obligated to speak on this matter. And also dealing with the camp here in Jacksonville, you got younger brothers, and you got a lot of younger brothers out there watching. And this is in the times that we in, to come out with a breakdown saying, hey man, don't cut your beard, you can cut your beard now. It's all about the timing, man. And I actually know them and they know me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna keep our personal life out of this unless we need to talk about it or go there. I'll be 100% happy to. But right now I just want to stick to answering the doctrine, you know what I mean? And he putting the challenge out there. He's saying whoever can answer it, answer it. Now, just because we answer it, that don't mean he's going to accept it, just like he's saying about us, The Lord said, I made your forehead hard against their forehead. Meaning if two people are on opposing sides, one side is not going to hear the other. But one side cannot say, hey, y'all can't respond, or if you don't accept the truth, just shut up and move on. No, because that's not reality. Reality is you put something out there into the space, it's gonna get a response, and that's just it. All you can do is request that people be respectful and things like that as a human being, So you got some people jumping out the window, some people that didn't even watch the whole video. I've been through that situation before, man, where people just jump out there and just come at you, and they don't even know you, they never met you, they haven't watched the whole video, and that shows their ignorance. That shows their arrogance, that shows their impulse to where they just jump out there and just come at you and slander your character and things like that. Yet, them same individuals, they always around when some shit go down. They the first ones to pop up and just talk shit, and they always say the same shit. You're gonna stop teaching, you're gonna give up, and they always say, I didn't watch the whole video. Those type of people, man, you gotta stay away from them motherfuckers. Okay? Cause they just like drama, and they like feasting on the kill. Like if one person's down, they call you a brother, then the next day they call you a nigga. So this is not my approach. My approach is I want to answer the doctrine. It was a statement made in this video. I'm on the road now. I can't really skip through it like I want to, but that's why I'm making it into segments. But it was a statement made from the brother Karazazar that y'all are teaching that I'm gonna say it the way he said it, y'all, or close to the way he said it. Y'all are teaching contradictory because, or contradictions because in the scriptures, you know, we teach that in the Leviticus 19, you're not supposed to shave your beard or edge your beard up, right? Which the scriptures does speak about edge ups when it says rounding. You know, I did a lesson on that. And there were Egyptians in the past, regardless of what anybody wants to say or their emotions are, you know, what they want to say, regardless of what they want to say or feel or shut down or close a certain door and not open their ear to it anymore or see it. There was edge ups in the history of Egypt, man. Edge ups, you know, poking at the edge of your fucking hairline and going around with it. That's called circling the head in barber school. When I was young, I used to get a haircut called a round off. So I know I'm very familiar with that whole rounding of the head situation. And baldness, you have baldness too, balding the head. That's the whole top of the head with a razor. Now, we teach that you're not supposed to do that. The brother Karadas is saying that we're contradicting ourselves, contradicting the scriptures, because the scriptures also say that Yahweh made Ezekiel and Job shave their head bald, so that would mean that Yahweh caused them to sin. Alright, now to me that's causing confusion. That's the actual confusion right there, putting that out there in that way. Alright, because the Lord did not cause them to sin, because whatever the Most High wills is His will. And anytime He told Ezekiel or Job or anybody or Isaiah to do anything to defile themselves or to shame themselves, it was in reflection of the shame that was put on Israel. He wanted them to see that and portray that to our people. All right, so he even told one brother, I think it was Ezekiel, if I'm not mistaken, he told him to eat doo-doo. All right, which would defile him. All right, then you had Isaiah. He told him to walk around 3 years ass naked with his ass out. In the same mindset. In the same mindset of how you know, in the same mindset of how, you know, King David's servant was sent back to him with his ass out. You know, with his ass out and half his beard shaved. All right. So both of those symbolic. They were both symbolic of shame. You know, of putting somebody to shame, of our nation being in shame, man. Now, I want to get down to Leviticus. I'm gonna start. This can be my first point in the first video. Now, if you get a response to where you're like, man, you don't know shit, that's being prideful. If you get a response to where it's like, who the fuck you think you is, or just shut the fuck and all that, then we're gonna get disrespectful too. So this is all dealing with doctrine. All right, I'm trying to stick to the doctrine. You know, brothers want to be brotherly, let's be brotherly. So I'm gonna get this real quick. All right, now this is Leviticus 19 and 27. Now it's, you know, it's clear that he's talking in the sense of to the dead. That's clear. So that's nothing major or nothing new. All right, but it's still during that time in Egypt, or our people came out of Egypt and we were given the laws. The Lord was telling us, don't follow those Egyptian customs, period, man. Because it don't matter if you cut your hair, edge your beard up, edge everything up, or shave your head bald or shave your beard off or your eyebrows, and you did that in commemoration for the dead, all right? The Lord was saying, don't do that. You know, don't do it in commemoration for the dead. But the thing is this, man, even if it was for the dead, you know, he's still saying don't do it. Period. All right, because what? All right, this is Ephesians chapter 5, verse 9. It says, and the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness and righteousness and truth. You know, teaching this truth, man, the pure truth. And it's a good thing to not shave your head bald to the damn scalp, or to shave it every day. That's vanity, man. You know, the Egyptian pharaohs, when they took on that custom, because before the 15th dynasty of Egypt, they weren't shaving their beards. All right, before the 10th century or some shit. 10th dynasty, I mean, Salaki. They weren't shaving their beards. All right, even the Egyptians grew their beards out. But then they took on this custom out of nowhere to where they started shaving their beards for the dead, shaving their head bald, shaving their eyebrows for cleanness, and called themselves, and then it turned into vanity. When you had the pharaohs, you know, it was so bad that the pharaohs they had a personal barber to groom them every day, to shave all the hair off their body, even off their eyebrows, man, every day. Can you imagine that? That's vanity. And that's the spirit our people are in today in this Egypt. You have America being Egypt, the spiritual Egypt as well. All right. So America is that spiritual Egypt, and our people fell into that vain customs again, man. In the 1970s, that's when the haircut started. It's not like our people was doing that forever. It was a custom in the 1970s that started and based upon vanity. You can't get around that. Everybody wanted to look good for Esau. They wanted to look good to get a job, and they wanted to look good for their women, you know, or just in general for men as well. Shit, they wanted to just look cleaner than what they felt. In the times of Egypt, and you can look this up. This shit is facts, man. In the time of Egypt, they said anybody that had hair on their face and shit like that was called beastly to them. That's what the Egyptians looked at them as, beastly. You know, they looked down upon us, man. All right, that was their way of separating themselves from us. Now you had you can look up ancient Egyptian edge ups, man. They had edge ups, man. I'm not even gonna fucking pull it up. I got video I did a couple of weeks back, going at Nate, the IUIC, about edge ups, getting their hair edged up in the sense of vanity. Now, so what they said in Leviticus 19 for the mourning of the dead. Or in Leviticus 21, where it says the mourning for the dead. Now, this is my thing. It was obviously their custom, Egyptian custom, man. So we're not supposed to follow their customs either. You know, I seen a brother earlier. I didn't see the video, but I was talking to somebody. They said, yeah, somebody else did a video too, and they was saying, you know, it's like taking a Christmas tree and putting it in your house. It's not in the law. But it is right there, you know, in Jeremiah, where it tell you, don't take a tree and put it in your house. But somebody could say, is it in the law that you can't take a tree and put it in the house? It's not in there. But we know that we're not supposed to deal with idol worship. We know that we're not supposed to represent the customs of these heathens. And it was an Egyptian custom to do all of that, man. You know, just like when Yahweh Shah show up, he shouldn't be the only one with a beard. When he came on the scene, he wasn't cutting his face and cutting his beard and shit like that. That started from vanity. And we're not supposed to dabble in vanity, period. Even if it's not in the law. All right? But it is there. It says it right there. Don't shave your shit and don't edge your beard up, man. Just because somebody say, I don't give a fuck about edge up, that don't matter, man. This is a debate. You can't tell people what to talk about in a debate that you're putting out there to the world. You know, no matter who started it. If you put it out there, you start targeting everybody, saying all of y'all are going off, then that means everybody at some point will respond. You get what I'm saying? If you put that out there like that. And that's a fact as well. So this is Ephesians 5 and 10. Proving what is acceptable unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. So that's what we're trying to do. Prove it. All right? And that's what happens. You prove your side, we prove... whoever proves their side, all right, and because I'm on Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua's side, man. I rock with Apostle Tahar, you know, and you do have some niggas in these camps that's claiming to be brothers, but they only there for you know, starting fights and shit, or there to tear you down, you know, or they pull around their apostles and they try to, you know, point the finger out at you and shit. So I get that, man. I get that wholeheartedly. So that's not what this is about right here. All right. So this is it says proving. So that's what we got to do, prove everything. And to prove anything, you got to hear the whole matter. You brothers got to stop doing that. You got to stop putting videos out about people and you haven't heard the whole matter. You don't know what the fuck you shooting at. You don't even know if you're healing them or not. Are you trying to heal them or are you trying to kill them? Some people are like, yo, you don't teach. Apostle Hart can say that. He got the right to say that. You know, because he experienced, he's been around for a while. But younger brothers, you got to stop with that bullshit, man. Yeah, you should just give up. Yeah, like, what the fuck? Once you study what the hell somebody talking about and then come at them. You know, then come at them. All right, do it the right way. So, all right, so that way it'll be fair. All right, and you won't be at jeopardy of sin. Now, this is verse 11. It says, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. So that's what we're here to do. We see people dealing with vanity, a man cutting his hair all the damn time for his job, a man butchering his face, you know, getting hair bumps all over his shit. You can tell that that naturally goes against the natural way that the Lord set the human body up. You know, so you had times when somebody had leprosy of the hair, you would trim all the hairs off their body and it would grow back. Make give them like a restart. You know, cleaning them. You know, so anyway, I'm gonna get back to the scripture, man. All right, now this is the reason for my lesson, and hopefully I set the stage to ask these questions. You know. All right, and he went. Those brothers went into 2 Samuel chapter 10, where it says King David, you know, told one of his servants to stay away, stay out of the city until he grow his beard back. And it's clear that he didn't want to be embarrassed or had the people think that you know, he gave in and allowed them to do what they want to their servants. Or if you want to, let's look at it this way: commemorating for the dead, right, with Moab and them. Okay, we can go there, but this is the thing: if King David told their brothers to stay out of the city, so the people of that city would not think that King David was weak and gave in and let those brothers break the law in Leviticus 19, right? And shaving their beards and shaving their head or shaving their beard. If he didn't want the people, our people, to turn against him and thinking he got weak because the king of Moab did it to our people and shaved off the beard, what makes you think if a man of Israel just decided to shave his fucking beard on the GP, on the humbug, he just woke up and said, I'm gonna shave my whole fucking body naked. There's no hairs. Naked came out from the wound, I'm gonna leave this motherfucking nigga. I'm gonna shave my shit. If somebody do that and they walk their black ass into Jerusalem with no damn hairs on their body, people still gonna think the same shit. They gonna look at that person and say, hey man, what the fuck was you doing? Were you shaving your shit for the dead? Was you just shaving your shit? What is you doing? Is you giving it to these people customs? Do you understand, man? You know so what the brother Karatazar was saying is contradictory, because it don't matter if it was the king of Moab or anybody. Anybody that walked into that city with their beard shaved off and their ass out as a man. See, it wasn't just about the beard, it was about the fucking mantle as well. So it wasn't just about for the dead, man. It was the disrespect from the guy Moab as well. You know, so he told him to stay there. So if anybody walked their ass up into the city, King David would have told their ass, stay out if you ain't grow your beard back. If you got your shit shaved to the skin, if you got your head shaved clean, bald, you know, it's nothing. It's different between trimming. You can trim your shit down and trim your hair down. But to shave it bald, unless you're in mourning, damn, see, that's contradictory. What are you saying? Somebody spoke to me earlier about this too as well. I'm gonna say it. The scripture he brought out about Job, I'm gonna go into that in a minute on the next video. The scripture he brought out about Job, when Job cut his hair, shaved his hair bald, because the loss of his children. That's why he shaved his hair bald. All right, and Karatazar went off. The whole camp, they went off on that as well. You know, that scripture. I'm gonna go into that too, man. With Job, the book of Job, chapter 1 and 21 and 22. He went off right there. You know, but to say that Job cut off his hair, shaved it bald in commemoration for the dead, or restarting or cleansing himself in mourning, then you would say that he's sinning right there, according to Leviticus 19. The opposite, you would be saying that that he was sinning by trimming his hair and everything in commemoration to the dead. If you saying that Leviticus 19 is saying for the dead, and that's why you skipped over that too, when you brought that out about Job, and you said, well, whether it was for the dead or not. No, he was doing that for the dead. So you be saying he was sinning. Now you got to fix that. All right. So yeah, I want to definitely go into that too later, man. Because matter of fact. All right. Now this is 2 Samuel 10 and 4. It says, wherefore Hanan, all right, Hanan, which was the son of the Ammonite. Now it says, took David's servants and shaved off the one half of their beards, right? Because he thought they were spies. You know, he was deceived by his own people, and they told him that King David wasn't being friendly. He was trying to be suspicious and sending spies over there. So they turned on the servants of King David, and what it says, shaved off one half of their beards and cut off their garments in the middle, even to their buttocks, and sent them away. Why? Because those were both standards of shame, man, amongst Israel. Just like during the times of Alexander, when he was fighting against the Lacedaemonians, man, you know, over there in Carthage, he would shave off their beards. Or when he had them fighting with him, Salaka, he would make them shave off their beards. All right? So nobody can grab their fucking beards and shit, but that was shameful. So, just like today, man, I grew up in Philadelphia, man. Where I'm from in Philadelphia, they call it the city of the beards. Everybody know that about Philly. Or a lot of people know that. So I grew up with that essence of understanding what a beard was about. I always wanted a beard, man. And it does set rank. It does set the status. It lets you know how old you are. Sometimes, man, you can have somebody with gray hairs, but they walking around with a fucking booty face or baby face, talking to little ass girls. You know? So, you know, you grow your beard out. It shows your elderhood. That's what the word Zaquan means, elder or aged. All right. And, you know, to shave your beard, man, that's vanity. To get up and do that every damn week, you know, and to say that you're not doing it for women, what other reason are you doing it? What you going to do when the dollar collapses and Jacob's trouble and you can't trim your shit? You know, what's going to be the excuse then? You know what I mean? It's like, just grow your beard out. What's wrong with that, man? And it's not a personal opinion. This is in the law. It's in the scriptures to have a beard, man, to have your shit together. All right? And don't follow the ways of the Egyptians. And one of the ways of the Egyptians is to shave their shit and to edge their shit up. You can say roundness is not talking about edging up, but it is. The corners of your beards. The corners of your beards represent your line of your beard, man. All right? And that's why people get mad. Like, I don't give a fuck about that. Yeah, who cares what you give a fuck about? We got to deal with it. This is what we teach. So if you're going into that topic, we're going to have to talk about it. Period. And we're saying that the scriptures clearly state that you're not supposed to get edge ups. And I've done a lesson on that a couple of weeks back. Maybe look through the page. I might repost it. All right. Now it says wherefore when they told it unto David, he sent to meet them, because the men were greatly ashamed. See that? They were greatly ashamed, man. And the king said, tarry at Jericho until your beards be grown, and then return. All right. So he didn't want them around. You know, however you want to look at it. If you want to say it's because so the city wouldn't turn against King David and think he was being weak to the king of Ammon, you know, and letting the servants partake in heathenistic customs, or serving of the dead to where they shaving their shit. However you look at it, man. You wouldn't walk your black ass up in that city with your beard shaved and your pants, your ass out. All right. So now I want to end this first point, of many dealing with this whole topic, man. Because I teach that you're supposed to grow your beard. So I'm one of those people that's standing for this doctrine, man, period, man. You're supposed to grow your shit. And it's not a hard thing. The laws are not grievous, man. All right. Now it says, this is 1 John 5:3. For this is the love of Yahweh, that we keep his commandments, man. That's order, to keep his commands, laws, statutes, and commandments, man. And part of those commandments deal with what? The customs as well. And his commandments are not grievous. So it shouldn't be a grievous thing to keep the law, man, unless you want to resist it, or come up with your own doctrine dealing with it. And then anybody that doesn't agree with you, you look at them with disdain and shit, like they wicked now, when you the one that changed at the last minute. And you have no respect that you've been teaching with people for all these years, and that just because you changed and you got some type of what you believe is a revelation, which I don't believe that, just because you feel that way, then you get mad at everybody else and say they're all going off or they don't know shit. You know what I mean? But they did know something before you found that, what you feel you found. You called them elders, you called, these things like that. But that's neither here nor there. I'm trying not to get personal. But yeah, man. So the laws, the commandments are not grievous, man. All right. Now, I'm going to end it with this. Leviticus 19:27. And it should be clear, like King David, man, if you shaved your beard for whatever reason, it don't matter for the day or whatever, if you walk in there with your ass out as a man, he not going to let you in the goddamn city. We can play semantics or it was for this, for that, but you forget, you can see clearly that certain brothers don't have a wide view of way of thinking, They become one-track minded, or they fumble over certain words, or they think they know too much, man. And you got to be damn near perfect in this truth. But the scriptures say be perfect in faith. Paul came not boasting, saying he was great in man's wisdom. All right, going into the history, and and that we were going to slip up in keeping of the law. So you're going to have some people that fall to it, that slip up, that may trim their beard and things like that. So we ain't telling people, yeah, you cut your beard, you ain't gonna make it into the kingdom. That's how you're making us look. That's how you're making it look. As if we saying, hey, if you trim your beard, the Lord ain't gonna accept you to the kingdom. The Lord showing up to give us new bodies, man. All right, so we keep the law to the best of our ability. And I that's just it, man. A person walking around with a beard or no beard, it changes their look, man. Everybody know that shit. And Yahushua, when he was on the earth, he had a beard. When he come back, he gonna have a beard. And we supposed to walk in his footsteps. He didn't shave his beard. He didn't go get edge ups and say, it's cool. It wasn't in the law. He would have let us know. If the Father had told him, he would have told us today, man, made it clear to us. Not no revelation to where you just out of nowhere saying, hey, the law, that's the wrong law. Y'all going off and dealing with separation of Stephanus, who interpreted the scriptures. Well, all right, then, if we dealing with separation to where the scriptures were sectionalized, categorized, in segments, so you can understand it better, or separating the law. So you might think one law is separate from another when they're really together as one thought. Okay, I can go with that. But all right, then, so let's not do separation. That's what I want to say. Let's not do separation. Let's just read it as it is, and let's see what we come up with. No separation. If you're thinking in the way of just for the dead, and you say people can get haircuts because it's not in the law, well, let's check this part out too then. Leviticus 19 and 27. Ye shall not round the corners of your heads, neither shalt thou mar the corners of your beards, man. The corner of your fucking beard is your hairline. Right? You're not supposed to mar that, meaning cut into it, you know, or damage it. If you go into the words dealing with it, man. And it says what? And ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am Yahweh. So, this is the question I have. So, you're saying that we can get tattoos. You're basically saying we can get tattoos. If you don't do separation, you can't separate it. It's all together. It's one thought. That's what he said. It's all together. Of the brother Karat that I said, you can't separate Leviticus 19 in certain parts. All right, then let's not separate this then. All right, if it says Shemath or whatever, who cares about that? If it's connected, it's connected. Well, since it's connected, we cannot subtract where it says ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead. So that means as long as it's not for the dead, then we can get cuttings in our flesh. That's my question, man. And I believe that we cannot get tattoos. I believe that we shouldn't shave our beard. And I believe that we shouldn't walk around ass naked. So, you know, or get tattoos. And all these things are shameful. And anything that's shameful, it turns into what deals with be a sin or transgression. All right. This is Leviticus 21:1. And Yahweh said unto Moses, speak unto the priests and the sons of Aaron, and say unto them, there shall none be defiled for the dead among this people, right? Because they were the priests, and they were saying, don't be the priest of these heathen nations. Don't start dealing with their customs and their worship and ceremonies and shit for the dead and all that, man. Now it says, be defiled, and there shall none be defiled for the dead among his people. For his kin, that is near unto him, that is for his mother, and for his father, and for his son, and for his daughter. All right, verse 3, it says, I'm gonna skip down. And for his sister. All right, so Locke, I had to jump out real quick. I'm doing this damn, work from the car. But anyway, where was I? I'm gonna end it on this, man. You know, and it's not personal. You know, and this is just to defend the doctrine, man. Defend what me personally, as the spirit upon this earth, defend what I'm teaching as a person, man. You know, if you put it out there, you say everybody going off. You know, I put a lesson out a while ago about atoms and about the light realm and shit like that, and the spiritual realm and things like that. That wasn't my focus, but I was cutting the damn scientists. And you had a moment where everybody came at me, you know, and I didn't take it personal except for the insults and shit. And I seen that there's some niggas out there that, you a nigga, man, and all that. You know, those are niggas, man. Those are the real niggas, and they the ones that you stay away from. All right, and the Lord gonna expose them eventually. But that wasn't trying to set a doctrine. You know, this right here is trying to change the doctrine and saying that you don't have to try to keep your beard, man. He basically telling you to be a cut stone instead of an uncut stone. And that's what we represent. We're supposed to be uncut, not putting no metal to us, not getting tattoos, not getting edge ups, not shaving your head bald. You trim it down. You just trim your shit down, man. And there's so many laws set in place that'll help you defend you to be able to keep your beard with your job. And with your woman, you just gotta have some integrity and grow your beard. There's nothing in the way, except for you if you're being vain and you want to keep taking something to your beard every day or every other week, whatever, and trying to get your shit right and edging your damn face up and creating a new face on top of your face, edging your eyebrows up and shit. You're gonna have everybody bugged out here, man. So you don't come this far down the line. And however he started speaking out, you know, that I understand as well. If somebody call your name out, it's up to you to respond or not. You know what I mean? but it's about how you respond as well, man. You know, if you honor somebody, like if I got an uncle and he started calling me a motherfucker and shit like that, I'm like, yo, uncle, what's up with you, man? You all right? And if he's still going against me, I'm like, that's just my uncle. You know, I love him though. But I ain't gonna be like, yeah, you putting a stumbling block in front, coming at him and shit. You know, that makes you look like a weirdo, and that's what you don't want to be. And it forces the younger brothers to have to choose a side, and there's no sides in this amongst us, man. We all supposed to be family and brothers. You know, and they say they went out with us, but they went out of us, man. Went out from us, but went out of us, man. All right. So I'm gonna end it with this right here, man. Where he said, where is it at? Leviticus 21:1. It says, and Yahweh said unto Moses, speak unto the priests, the sons of Aaron, and say unto them, there shall none be defiled for the dead among his people. You know, and that's clear. That's what he was saying in reference to our people and our priests that could have sold out and that were selling out to the Egyptian idols and the heathen idols, man. You know, and to the dead. And just like today in America, you got people that are getting tattoos for the dead. All right. And you got a lot of idiots getting edge ups and shaving their beard for the dead, but it's talking about spiritually dead. Well, no, I was just saying, but for real, man, it don't make sense, man. It's kind of petty to bring that out and say, hey, man, cut your beard. I'd rather you have a beard, but the Bible says in the law, and it's always said it, which it doesn't say that, man. It doesn't tell you to cut your beard. I'll tell you that. You know, and if you bring out the scripture dealing with Ezekiel and what's his name, Job, the Lord never told them to do that as a nation, though. That's the thing, man. He told them to do it individually as his priest or his prophet to show an example of shame before the people, man. We're like a writing board for the people to show to, for the Lord to show to the people. All right. And he had Ezekiel acted out, and he had Isaiah acted out, and he had Job acted out. The shame that the Lord was feeling, that our nation was in, you know, and the resentment that the Lord was feeling towards our people. So that has nothing to do with Leviticus 19. All right, it's a straight command from the Lord, just like he told Isaiah to walk around ass naked for 3 years. And we're not supposed to be naked out in the open, especially being men. And that's why the king of Moab cut off the men's trousers or their garment, man, down the back of their ass, so they would look shameful. They was ashamed, man. All right. So hey, man, however you want to look at it, you're not supposed to have no workings of the works of darkness. You know, in the book of Ephesians, man. No looking at the works of darkness, basically. No fellowship with it, but rebuke it. You know, that's what we're here to do, to rebuke that shit. Say, hey, man, grow your beard, man. They were Egyptian customs. Those were basically Egyptian customs. And, you know, and that's just it. Those were Egyptian customs. All right, and they fell into it with vanity. You know, them Egyptians started doing it for the dead and for, you know, and for them Egyptians just started doing it, and it became vanity. All right, they say, hey, anybody that had a bald face, you would consider rich or clean. You see that? But our people, that was a look of shame. If you cut your shit and trimmed your shit, in a sense of mourning. All right, so it's not the focus that it was for the dead. He was saying, yeah, don't do that in the sense of the Egyptians. But if you mourning for your family members and you shave your head bald, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, you know, in the sense of mourning in the past. All right, so All right, so our people were sinning, and our people started going off, and for shame, the Lord told Ezekiel to cut his hair off, man, and cast his hair into the wind. And that represented the Lord scattering the children of Israel by cutting off what was a part of him. Like you cut off the roots of your hair, the locks of your hair. If you cut it off at the roots, the Lord saying that he was going to cut us off at the roots. And he told him to cast it into 3 sections. And that's how Israel was divided up into 3 sections, man. All right. So matter of fact, man, I got to do this. I'm going to get back on this road. And, hey, man, if you want to know what I think about it, I think it's you know, I can't say it's not there where it says for the dead, but it's about how you look at it, man. The customs as well. We're not supposed to follow the customs of these nations, and that's what that started from, with the cutting of the hair, the edging of the beards, and the baldness of the heads. All right, that started with them heathens. You know, in the sense of vanity, in the sense of everyday life. Not saying Ezekiel, not saying Job, because they didn't walk around like that every day. So, you know, I mean, there's no reason to bring them up. We talking about on an everyday basis. You just wake up and you want to cut your shit. That's vanity. You wake up, you want to edge your stuff up and put a chisel to your face. You know, that's vanity, man. So if anybody want to cut their shit, go ahead and do what you do, man. You know, hey, it is what it is. The Lord said he's going to make us perfect in the kingdom. And we're going to have bodies with beards and things like that, man. Imagine Yahushua showing up and he the only one got a beard if we follow Karatazar's doctrine. Think about it, man. You would rather everybody have a beard, but you telling them it's cool. You think Jake is simple. They're going to take hold of this and be like, shit, I've been waiting to cut my shit. I've been waiting to trim my shit, man. And it's not wicked. Let's get it. You know? I had a brother that was in the old camp, but me and Karatazar now. And he in jail now for fucking raping a bitch, raping an old lady. And kicking in her fucking door and robbing her and shit. Like, what the fuck, man? And he's the same one that used to be in my face saying, hey, you need to, you know, you better stay in this truth, man. Because I'm going to stay. Like, what the fuck? And those the same people that was like, you know, I could fart on your leg. I could do this. I could talk shit to you. You know, it sounds carnal, but that's the way they used to act. Grown-ass men. Carnal than a motherfucker, man. Like, simple, I mean. I could talk shit to you, being my brother, as long as I don't break the law. And I'm saying people not in the truth no more, man. They'll look for a reason to disrespect you, to talk shit to you. Well, it's about morals. It ain't got to be in the law. It doesn't have to be in the law. Most of the Bible, or the laws were written throughout the whole scriptures. The commandments, too. You know, even with the holy days, they were being established over time. All right? So even Paul was saying things that weren't, that he didn't believe was in the law, but he spoke it as wisdom, as common sense. See that? So to tell somebody to cut their shit, to edge their shit up, that's a custom of Esau, and that's a custom of these Egyptians, these Africans, and that's not a custom of the children of Israel, man. The Egyptians looked at it as beastly for you to have a beard. If you can't understand that, man, you just focusing on the word dead, and it was for the dead, it was for the dead. Who cares, man? Who gives a fuck? It has nothing to do with salvation. We trying to get the fuck out of here. Don't nobody give a fuck what any of these motherfuckers think, man. You know, y'all don't know. Who gives a fuck? We trying to teach. We got new brothers coming into this, and you know they want to get the fuck out of here, man. They don't want to see us clashing at the top. You know, however it came out, man. It shouldn't have been a 2-hour video made trying to tell you to cut your, not tell you to cut your shit, because you gotta be careful with what you say with people, man. They're turning against you. But you know, not that you're telling people to cut their shit, but you're leaving it open for people to not only cut their hair or to cut their shit off, but you're leaving it open for them to get tattoos now as well, and to find other parts of the Bible to where they can say, hey, I can do this because it's not in the law. I can go get a Christmas tree and put it in my house because it's not in the law. It's in Jeremiah, but it's not in the law. But the scriptures say what? Have no fellowship with the workings of darkness, but rather reprove them. So getting your hair cut, edged up, who gives a fuck if somebody disagree with it? The word roundness goes back to circling the head. To circle the head means to get an edge up in the front, edge up on the side, edge up on the corners of your beard, edge up in the back. That's circling the head. That means rounding the head, man. And to bald the head. Of course, you're going to try to find some scripture or word or dig into the word roundness. We can go there too. Because I already did that in the last lesson, man. All right? And roundness ties to the word circling. And circling is a barber terminology. All right? To circle the head, meaning edge up in the front, edge up in the side, edge up in the back. And it started in 1971. So our people fell into that, man. Vanity. All right, so hey, man, if it ain't, you know, hey, this is part one. I'm gonna just do it. This is a quick lesson and edification, man, to tell everybody keep pushing, man, keep believing, and stay to the doctrine that you learn. You know, as far as the law, how about that? Because some things will need to change. Some things are being altered from the old school. You know what I mean? It is what it is, but this ain't one of them. This ain't one of them, man. Changing the law, saying don't cut your beard. Saying basically it's not in the law. And saying that we're contradicting the scriptures, teaching contradictions by telling people to grow your beard. What the fuck, man? Like saying people will be confused when no, you're making them confused. They won't be confused. They get it. And when the part where we talk about Ezekiel and Isaiah, it's the same Ezekiel and Job where he told them to cut their shit. It goes right with Isaiah where he told them to strip down naked. Right? Or he told the other brother to eat doo-doo. Or he told Hosea to go find a whore and marry her. Alright, so that's the Father's will, man. His ways are not our ways, and our ways are not his ways. You know, he used that as an example. That's it. He didn't tell Job and Ezekiel to walk around like that forever. He didn't tell Isaiah to walk around like that past 3 years. It was for a reason, man. All right, for significant reasons. Just like you're telling the children of Israel, don't cut your damn beard, don't shave your face, and don't edge your shit up, man. All right. And when Alexander and them saw us, when the Diadochi, the army saw us, man, the Antiochus, they would call us a tribe of lions, man, or manly. That's what they said. We were manly. And what makes you manly? Having your beard, not just being muscular. You know, muscular don't make you manly. Having that beard and having no feminine ways makes you manly, man. And being in the scriptures. All right. That's what makes you manly and austerity. So hey, man, I expect a response, and I got more to come behind this. But it is what it is, man. We can go any direction with this. I mean, we can go carnal, we can go personal. All right, but I decided to keep the personal shit out. And I decided to keep, especially the carnal shit. But I decided to keep the personal shit out of this. But I do know them guys, and I got the right to speak. All right, because I'm one of the ones that could be confused from this type of bullshit being taught. You know, and the ones up under me, and up under you brothers out there, they could be confused from this bullshit, man. Somebody saying that Apostle Tahar is causing a stumbling block in front of everybody. So what now? Everybody should stop following Apostle Tahar and come up with their own doctrine, like completely? No, you're going to have some alterations, but you still tell everybody the core of the foundation, the core of is Apostle Tahar, that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, the true vine, set up, of which we all become branches. But if you watching the plant grow, which Apostle Tahar, we all decided to watch him and the apostles under him. So if we watching him grow, and even if he growing from the past school, from the old school, he growing out of some of the ways of thinking of that school as he's done over time. We can't blame him for growing. You can't go in his life and say, you're pointing the finger at him. Stop watching it. So that way people can criticize you as you grow. See that? So when you pointing your finger at somebody else, you got 3 more fingers pointing back at yourself. And that's why I decided not to really point the finger on this, man. My angle is this. You got younger brothers that just got into these camps, man. And they don't need to be hearing this shit about you don't have to you don't have to grow your beard. It's not in the law. It's there, man. It's right there. Whether you say it's for the dead or not. So you would be saying that King David was in the wrong spirit. King David was in the right spirit when he said, grow your beard back and then come into the city. However the people looked at it, if they looked at it whether it was for the dead or not, King David knew that it was a shameful thing. Now, if somebody showed up in the city and they had the same fucking side of their face shaved off as that servant that King David sent to the king of Hanan of the Moabites, you know, if somebody else walked in and they weren't sent to the Moabite, but they just walked in with a shaved beard, you mean to tell me that they still wouldn't look at that as shameful? It would have to be for the dead for it to be shameful? You know, but the book of Ephesians cuts that, where it says have no fellowship with the works of darkness, however you look at it. You know, so whether it was for the dead, all right, let's say for instance it was for the dead. If it was for the dead, then what? King David still wouldn't have let them in there. And people walking around with edge-ups today and bald heads, they can easily be mistaken for getting their shit cut in respect of the dead. So that would be a sin still. That would be confusion. So if it's not in reference for the dead, then the Bible stands that they should not get their shit cut. They shouldn't get it edged up. They shouldn't get it bald, man. All right, it's an unclean thing, man. You know, if it's a restart, because it's nothing but dead cells and shit. But you get hair bumps. It's vanity. You got to keep doing the shit. All right, so what you do, man, you just trim your shit the way you trim a tree. That's it. You don't cut into the tree. All right. So with that, man, I'm going to say, Kal Halayim La Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Harakah Kodash Ma'amath. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. And shalom to you, Akim, and Agwatim and children that believe in sincerity and truth, man. And this is my thing, man. I watch how people move, man. And it's about honor. It's about integrity. I give a fuck how you feel, man. Like, if Pastor Dahar was to jump out and come at me, my video would be a lot different if I had to make a video like, oh, shit, damn it, they made me like a demon. I got to say something. But it wouldn't be like, yeah, he throwing a stumbling block in the way. Yeah, he Pastor, hey, Vernon, what you do? You know, like, really getting disrespectful, man. That shows your character. That shows that you got emotional. That shows that something triggered you, and it got to you. And ain't nothing wrong with that. We all human. But you can't take it out on everybody else just because they want to stand for the doctrine. So you got to watch it and make sure you don't mingle it and say, hey, man, if you disagree, just move on. Nah, nope. Nope, because of this. If somebody put a doctrine out there, they can do what they do. All right? Free country. But this is the thing. If you start saying that anybody that teaches that you should not cut your beard, and I'm one of those people in this camp and whoever, if you're saying that, then that means that but if you're saying that anybody that teaches that you should not cut your beard is going off and we're committing heresy and contradiction of the scriptures and causing people to fall off and fall out of the scripture to be confused, all right then, well, then is it my point to speak up and say something? Is it my point? And this to you younger cats out there, man, that act like you older in this truth, man. You know, you got to stop jumping out there and just go attacking somebody's character, man. You attack the doctrine. And if they get carnal, then you get carnal. But you leave room for it. You know what I mean? Don't make that the first option. Just bashing somebody's character, man. All right, Apostle Hard knew him, so he can do that, you know. But to just tell somebody to stop teaching, or hey, you ain't gonna do nothing but disappear, you don't know that. That shows your ignorance. You can't even battle nobody with that type of mindset. All right, that shows that you're very real ignorant, neglecting that other person's path. All right. So with that, man, I'm gonna end it there, and I'm gonna go into the rest later, man. Dealing with Job and Ezekiel. All right, and what it really meant with Ezekiel, and with Job, Ezekiel chapter 5, and in Job chapter 1 and 20 from 21 on down. You know. All right, so hey, I believe that you should still grow your beard. You shouldn't edge your shit up. You shouldn't bald your face. Grow your shit out. Be natural, man. All right, be natural for Yahweh the way he created you. You know, trim your shit down. You might edge your lip up a little bit with the scissors here and there. You might groom yourself for women. You get what I'm saying? You know, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. But you ain't gonna get no edge ups and putting metal to your skin. You know, and cutting into the skin for tattoos, or cutting into the skin with clippers. That's what clippers do. They cut. They don't just shave. They cut as well. When you're making them little tiny edge lines, they really pulling skin from your epidermis, the outer layers of your flesh. So you're still cutting into the stone, cutting into the flesh. And we're supposed to be uncut stones, man. So with that, if you can't get it and you disagree, then move the fuck on. That's what everybody keeps saying, right? If you disagree, then just don't say nothing. Go on about your business.